the first of the month, the beginning of your month.
The second one, the second one.
Yeah, kind
Like when you go to Numbers, the 10th chapter, it tells us in the beginning of your months we're to blow the trumpet and have a feast and offer a burnt sacrifice. That was the celebration of the new moon. So it began. Your year started with the first month, the first moon, and on the first day of that month, we were to blow the trumpet and burn sacrifice. All right. So your calendar is based on the moon. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 45, 16 and 17. I read verse 18. All the people of the land shall give this oblation for the prince in Israel. It shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings and drink offerings in the feast, and in the new moons, and in the Sabbaths, and in all solemnities of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering and the meat offering and the burnt offering, the peace offerings, to make reconciliation for the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, in the first month, in the first day of the month, thou shalt take a young bullock without blemish and cleanse the sanctuary. Pretty much it.
Proving that that's a Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's what the priests have to do.
Yeah,
Sabbath days and the new moons.
This is in the law. If they're so heavy on the law, they should know this. I had a precept too.
Go ahead.
Sirach 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
Kind.
Read that again.
The moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
Yeah.
A light that decrease in her perfection. Meaning what? You know, when it's at its height, when it's at its fullness, which is in the middle of the month, it starts to decrease. It starts to what they call wane.
Yeah, wane, wax.
It wane. All right, and then once it after its phases, another question. What does the word week mean? The word week. It means change. How many changes are in a month? 4.
Yep. First quarter.
You have the 4 phases of the moon.
Yeah. And this brother always talk about how on a regular calendar it shows the new moon on the calendar. You look at a calendar, it shows the new moon, the what is it, half moon, all
so
that.
New moon, first quarter, and then full moon, last quarter, and then new moon.
You got the crescents.
Yeah, the waning and waxing gibbous.
And see, trying to keep up with this concept through the Gregorian, through Esau's way, it'll mess you up.
Yeah.
You get confused that way, and this is an issue that a lot of these other camps have, and that's the reason why they just stick with the whole Friday sundown, Saturday sundown concept.
Yeah, that's one of the Israelites. I was going to say, the science has done most of the work for you. Any calendar gives you all the phases in the first place.
And
Esau threw everything off.
But
Said that he would change the times and the laws and the seasons. He did that, man. Adding to the calendar, taking away. You got leap years. He fucked up the times, man.
Because his method of keeping it was off. When it should be, the rotation is about 29.53 days for a full month.
Yeah.
Not quite. It changes, so it's not quite the Shabbat. I mean, not quite 30 days. But then it does equal 30 days. And some other times, that's where you have the day in between for the Sabbath.
Let me finish this.
The skip.
Verse 8. The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Increasing in her changing. So that's when during the new moon, when there's barely any light there, during the 2 phases or the 2 weeks, the 2 changes, the light increases. Where it go from unnoticeable to fully noticeable.
Yep. Full moon. Kind.
It go off in GNT. Looking at
It goes off. Well, hey, you know.
It is.
I'll read it,
But
but
hey, that's where the discernment comes in.
right.
You know.
Kind of, bro.
You be looking at that same version of GNT.
That's also why a woman's menstrual tends to fall on Sabbaths as well. You know, because it goes along with their monthly.
Monthly, yeah.
You know, because the menstruation and moon
Yeah,
are yeah, kind.
Yeah, go right into that.
Yep.
Go like a prefix.
Yep.
Oh, I do want to read it when we get done.
Okay.
Being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
You want to read 10?
Okay.
Then I'll read
The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord. And the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches. It goes back to creation, which is the commandment of the Holy One. And we know that, you know, Yahweh Shai, who with the angels created, you know, the earth, the stars, the heavens, you know.
That's on that first day.
It's that the commandment of the Holy
I mean,
One.
that fourth day. That first.
Yeah.
I said that one.
Yep.
That goes into what? Colossians 1, where, you know, talks about Yahweh Shai, you know, creating them.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
Let me read this in NLT. It says, starting up at.
With GNT.
So let's give it the GNT. For Sirach 43. Let's see. Y'all started at, moon, so we started at, what, 5, 6?
Yeah, around 6.
Yeah, 6. So it says, there is also the moon, marking the passage of time, an eternal sign of the changing seasons. The moon determines the holy days. The light grows full and then grows dim. Right? Which is right, but watch what it says here. The month is named after the moon, marvelous to watch as it grows fuller each night. And it's nice when that happens, but the real marvelous, if you look at the other scriptures, when it grows to disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it's there, it's shortly not there versus you can see a light in the sky, you know, all but one night of the month.
Hey, I typed in the scriptures, in the whole Bible, I typed in full moon.
Yeah.
2 scriptures come up, said moon at the full, but it doesn't correlate with the
Right.
Sabbath.
Kind.
Right.
We bringing all these scriptures about the new moon and the Sabbath.
But those scriptures don't have nothing to do with
Right.
the Shabbat. Right.
See, if you guys just do that,
Just
at
basic,
IUIC, you be like, you should be looking at this dude crazy.
Yeah. They can't even do a simple word search.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that follow IUIC, they're not studious. They're not really. They don't want it. They don't.
Scholarly.
It's about keeping up with the image
Yeah.
than anything.
They're not striving
They
to be
want
teachers.
to ride on horses, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to wear the wolf garbage one day. Sit at the big table. You know, with the big menorah and the big ram horns and all that.
Yeah. If somebody could get Psalms 81, Psalms 81 makes it clear that the new moon and the full moon is separate. All right, and when you read it, you'll understand that it's talking about the memorial, the blowing of the trumpets, which that happens to be on the first day of the 7th month. All right.
They say it's Leviticus 23.
Yep.
Psalms 81 and I just get to the point. Sorry, top. I'll read that. Sing aloud unto the Most High our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the Most High power of Jacob. Take psalms and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp, and the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon and in the time appointed on our solemn feast days.
All right, now
Yep.
when you read it in another translation, it's gonna separate. It's gonna make the distinction.
Yep.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. That's the beginning of the month, and also in
So,
your solemn feast, which when we read the solemm feast, going back to Leviticus 23 and other chapters, they're usually in the middle of the month and not at the beginning of the month. Like the Passover. Is it Passover at the beginning of the first month of the year, or is it in the middle of the month?
I'll read it in.
It's on the 14th day at evening.
That's beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's usually when what? When there's a full moon.
Yep.
Which is a Sabbath.
Yeah. But
It's still a Sabbath, it's just not the new moon.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the new moon itself.
It's It's a couple weeks after the new moon.
Yep.
Same version.
Could be the third.
Yeah.
Blow the ram's horn at new moon, and again at full moon to
And
call
it,
a
hold
festival.
on. And it said and at the moon, and at the
And again
and again
at the full moon.
at the full moon. So that's making the distinction.
Because we're not supposed to blow it. Well, you know, we're not supposed to blow it unless there's solid feast days in it.
Yeah. But see, this is another hurdle. This is another stumbling block that they use to deceive. You know, which at this point, you know, he's being stiff-necked. That's why I used to call him stiff-necked Nate. You know you're wrong, but you're going to continue to use that scripture. That's not. You can't manipulate the scripture to continue to impose your narrative on others, man. You can't do that. That's you playing a dangerous game.
It reminds me of microwave Israelites. Like they take, you know, like prepackaged food, you gotta heat it up. You know, you gotta give it life now, it's delicious, and you know, they remind me of
Cliff Note Israelites.
Yeah.
Where they, you know, they don't want the whole breakdown. They just want the.
So this is what it means. Okay, I don't
yeah.
have to dig to figure out
Yeah.
how, so to make sure it makes sense.
Or verify that it's
Yeah,
true.
that's what I said. I don't have to do no work to verify. It says, don't it say that in Timothy?
Yep.
Study to show thyself approved, workman that needed not be ashamed,
Yeah,
rightly
rightly.
dividing the word of truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to do that work.
Church of Berea.
I gotta preach. 2 Timothy 3:13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. That's all you're doing.
That's all they doing.
Yeah.
And those dudes out there, like I said, them dudes out there, it's like they're real confident. They're really like proud, really thinking that they're teaching 100% truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like them dudes that was out there teaching that woman, they swore up and down that this is the breakdown.
And did they ask the woman was Samaritan?
Well, it was out of order for them to even go there with her.
But that's the law.
Because like Paul said, if she will learn anything, let her learn from her husband at home.
Yeah,
I was trying the Samaritan woman.
Yeah.
So you know that's according to the way it should be. We're supposed to, it said in your home, husband will rule over. You don't go learn new things from other men. That's all.
But there was
But some of that's common sense though.
that was a desperate moment for them. They was like, well, here's another sister we could recruit.
Yeah.
Another woman we could bring into the congregation.
Yeah, we can marry off.
Almost make you think it's another dollar we could bring in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Maybe she give me another pocket.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
But going back to Genesis, you cannot use the Genesis to try to use that as a template for establishing a Sabbath day, because they were in the midst of the creation.
right.
All right.
But
You
the
can't-
seventh day was established that there would be a Sabbath day.
Well, the Lord, He chose that particular day to finally rest.
Right.
You
The
know?
order is still there though.
Yeah.
It's the seventh day still.
But
when is the first day?
Exactly, but see, when trying to establish that, they make it seem as if it was a 24-hour period, like we're used to. The Lord's time is different from ours.
Yes, 2 Peter 3.
All right, these wasn't 24-hour day periods when they were creating, you know, when they was in the midst of the process. All right. So you can't, you really can't use that argument. Somebody got that?
2 Peter 3, and
Three.
verse 8, it says, verse 8, it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
That's an age.
Yeah. So if 1,000 years to us is just one day with the Most High, then how long was the creation? How long did it take to actually create everything, leading to the final time when the Lord rested?